It's your boy Digital Dive coming to you with another Figma one-on-one tutorial. Today we're going to be using the prototype tool for our design. Last time we just finished up our landing page for our fitness page, and now we want to add a little interactivity to it. So to start off, we're going to hold the Alt key on our design and drag this along so that we could duplicate our canvas in order so that we can continue to work on the interactivity. There are certain points of this app that I really want to be able to see what will happen if a user were to click on it and the behavior that it would show. So when a user clicks this hamburger bar, I want it to be able to show a menu. So in order to do that and to kind of get that design to flow to work, I'm going to create a rectangle box over our current design. I want to be able to flow with the current color palette that we have. So I'm going to just use the eyedrop tool and increase our opacity. In order for you to do that on your screen, you would just go over, say, the back window of this design, and it will automatically grab the color. For our menu, I want people to be able to go to the home section, an about section, and the hours of our location. So let's do that. So for the first thing, we're going to do home. We're going to drag that down and drag that down. I want to kind of have an alternating pattern when it comes to the design. So I'm going to just drop down this rectangle and bring it backward. Well, that didn't work. So let's just, let's see if we could just put this right here. Let's just put the different menu items that we want to add. So it'll be home, about us, and contact us. So we could kind of have a prototype of what this button will look like if selected. And so that we could hook this behavior up and show you what the prototype tool looks like, we're going to click prototype, and this is kind of the device that the actual prototype is going to show up on. So since we are using an iPhone 11 Pro for this example, you have the ability to connect frames together so it shows what happens after you do a certain action. So for example, when I click this hamburger button, I want this screen to show up, which will kind of demo the behavior that I would like. And below, you could set what kind of behavior you want to happen when that happens, if that makes sense. So on drag, on hover, if pressed, different kind of events that will trigger this said behavior. I'll use the on tap, which is the default already, just so you could get a sense of what that looks like. Let's just go ahead and press play. So what's gonna appear right now is a little web widget of what a demo app of what our current page looks like. I like how it's looking so far on mobile. It looks pretty sleek and something that I'd go to this gym if I knew about it. So if I press this button now, you could see that this home button just appeared. So we didn't create the behavior for us to get out of this, but you could get a sense of what happens when you press the nav bar. So let me click that one more time so you can see it one more time. So if we go, it's gonna just it has the same default behavior. You could press the R button to restart, or you could switch between the different tabs. So let's hop back into our design. Just for the sake of this demo, if I click the home button, I want to redirect to the page. So let's see that in action real quick. So if I press home, now we just back to the home page and that nav bar gets removed. This is very awesome because it allows the testing of your design to be done instantly, so you know what kind of behavior will happen. Let's kind of make this design look a little better. So we're gonna hop back into the design tool and add a little gradient to it. Yeah, this is kind of more better to read. I'll, just for the sake of the example, I'll throw some underlines underneath each of them. Let's make this the same. And now we kind of have our nav bar. I want to quickly create so if I really want to create another screen for the contact page, let me just grab this and pull it out. So this is going to be what our contact page looks like. I'm going to just get rid of all the current elements that we have already. Just so I could get the same height and width. I know that we locked the picture in place, so let's unlock that and allow us to, matter of fact, let's leave that right there. Let's put something like, we want to help you reach your fitness goals. And let's align that to the middle and let's reduce the size of that. So we want to reach your fitness goals. Let's add some boxes in order for people to contact us. So we want to add some boxes here for our contact form. So we're going to use the rectangles that we have and insert some placeholder text that you would typically find on the form. So let's make this more visually appealing. So let's pick something a little light so people know what to put in. First name, last name, and email. And then since we already have our submit button, we'll just drag that over to this example and let's change it up. Let's make it a green submit button because we want our users to be able to be drawn to the button. And let's put submit. So now this is our contact page. Let's group this all together. So let's hold the shift key and click onto the rectangle behind and group the selection. Do the same thing for these two and these two. So now if I select all three, I could grab them, drag it down, and it still be uniform. So we want you to reach our fitness goals. I'm liking how this is all coming together. So now that we have our contact us page linked up, you can hop into the prototype tool, select it, and tie it back in. And what's cool, we can now take our hamburger menu that's already in this view and hook it up back to our original nav bar. So it kind of encourages this reuse of one primary view, so we don't have to keep duplicating this page right here. So now if we hop into our prototype tool now and we press, oh, it's updating, sorry. So if we hop into our prototype tool now, let's go from the beginning. So my fitness, press contact us, we have the contact us form. And now if we press this button, it kind of glitched a little. I just realized it just brought us back to the original form. So we might have to make a duplicate of this in order to get the background to change, but you kind of get a sense of what the behavior is. So if I click home, this will be removed. If I clicked contact us, we get this page. But you see now if we click this button, we're back to see the background isn't the same. So we kind of need to fix that behavior in order for it to be correct. So what we could do in this case, we could remove this prototype behavior, and let's go back to the design tool and link these all together in a group the selection. So now if we drag this, we can duplicate this page and I don't know why they didn't group previously. So let's try to group that again. Group the selection, drag that, apply it. Now let's go back to the prototype tool. So now if we go back to the prototype again and it will update, we should be able to have that same background if we press the nav bar in the contact form. So let's go, press contact us, press the nav bar. It's still doing the same behavior. This is embarrassing. Oh, okay. I think I need to update that. Let me see. So that contact us form should bring you to this page. If I press the nav bar, it should bring you to this page. If I press home, you should go back to this home page. And yeah, Hopefully it should be updated now. I'm sorry that I'm bouncing back and forth now, but it should work now. So this nav bar, if clicked, should open up this nav page, and this contact us button should bring you back to the contact page. And if the nav bar is pressed, it should bring you back to this page. And if the home button is pressed for this prototype link, it should bring you back to the home page. So let's try to redo the prototype from the beginning to make sure that all the connections is connected. But you kind of get a sense of the flow here that we have. And it really allows you to see how your app is working so that bugs like this don't happen in real life without you writing any code. So if I press home, it should bring me back to the home page. If I press contact us, it should bring us to the contact page. And if I press the nav bar now, you see that it works. And to test that, I press the contact us page, should bring us back to the page again. And if I press the home page, we should be back at the home page once more. I didn't hook the contact us page to this for the button down here, but we can easily do that right now since we're right at it. And now the contact us button is hooked up to the contact page. So this is kind of a small lesson on the prototype tool. I could continue and make another view, but just by this small example right here, you get a sense of what the prototype tool allows you to do. It promotes reuse of it promotes the reuse of elements and allow you to be able to interact with your design before you even touch one line of code, which is pretty awesome. And I really appreciate Figma being able to do this, because when I started out coding, I didn't have this kind of design tools at my disposal as an engineer. So what I thought in my mind is what I would implement on. And what happens when you do that is you don't get the time to like test out and flesh out your ideas and let people see it before you code it. And because coding isn't the answer always. Sometimes you need to get feedback on your design from people and to let them know that, hey, this might not be the right direction for what we want, especially for a client, before you even write a piece of code, which will save you a lot of time. And I really appreciate Figma for this very fact. So I showed a little preview of what the prototype tool is capable of doing, and hopefully this tutorial kind of helped you to figure out what you're able to do with Figma. And then for my last tutorial, I will show you what the coding session allows you to do right here. So thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, and I can't wait for me to grow out this channel. This is just a learning experience, but I'm just happy that I'm doing this and getting people that are interested in learning how to code and learning how to design, especially since we're all in the house during COVID.